Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And oh my gosh, has there been a lot of stuff to announce. I'm just amazed at the amount of content that Wizards of the Coast is making right now, and it sounds and looks really, really good. And the book that I want to talk about today is called Monsters and Creatures. So Dungeons and Dragons has yet another book being released for younger kids or children. It's called basically a young adventurer's guide for kids, and it's aimed for kids between the ages of 8 and 12. Monsters and Creatures is supposed to be a fun introductory guide to Dungeons and Dragons beasts and monsters with a heavy focus on illustration. You can how can any dungeon master resist, let alone kids, the idea of getting a book full of monsters? Now, as you can see from the cover art, that doesn't look like kiddie art. That looks like cool stuff to me. I like the cover art. Now, if the cover art is anything like what's in the book, we should be doing quite nicely. Whether you are an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old, or you are an adult. So I am sort of torn when I see this. So one-of-a-kind entries for some of the most sinister, foul, and memorable Dungeons and Dragons monsters. So that's code for there are going to be new monster artwork pieces in this book, which there should be, featuring amazing illustrations, expert insights on some of Dungeons and Dragons' most dangerous monsters. Okay, insights, I was trying to sort of think, what does that mean when you say insights? Can you be a bit more specific? Of course, I can't find that kind of information out at this present time, but I will certainly let you know if I do find out. The guide shines a spotlight on beasts that scare, excite, and cause trouble for adventurers. And we know that monsters are supposed to do that anyway. What I'm really excited about is the following information. Creatures that live underground, dwell in wilderness, boneyards, and soar in the sky. Okay, so boneyards, soar in the sky. Okay, we're definitely, well, it's pretty clear we're talking about dragons. There's dragons on the front cover, and etc. There'll be other creatures. Obviously, dragons are going to be there, right? It's Dungeons and Dragons. Monster profiles on monster size and other information, danger level, and tips for how to survive an encounter. And I was like, okay, so is this a player's handbook of some kind? It does suggest that it's some sort of player's handbook, but also a mixture of a dungeon master manual with pictures and monster lore rather than stat blocks. And I was thinking, if I am an adult and I hear about a book that's got artwork in it with monsters, that's good enough for me usually, but it also has monster lore in there, I'm going to be really tempted to want to buy it, even if it's not designed for my age group. Here's where it gets really interesting. The perfect entry point for young fans of fantasy and D&D, or Dungeons and Dragons. Encounter stories so readers can practice problem-solving skills they'll need to fight monsters when they play Dungeons and Dragons adventures of their own. And that sold me. I was so torn when I saw that. I was like, it sounds really interesting for just about anyone, which is why I am so excited about this particular book. Now, there is a bit of information, of course, that you'll want to know, and that is it is being released on July 16, 2019 on Amazon. I don't know where it will be released in terms of other locations, but I know that Amazon has it up there for pre-order. Yes, there is an affiliate link down in the description if you want to go and check it out. If you really want to, you can go and do that. This is going to be book 2 of 4 different books being released. I've already done a review on Warriors and Weapons, which is the first book. Monsters and Creatures is the second book. The third book is going to be Dungeons and Tombs. And then, of course, we'll get Wizards and Spells. Now, I am absolutely convinced at this point this is a setup to introduce a younger audience to new to a new Dungeons and Dragons rule set. I honestly think we're looking at Dungeons and Dragons 5.5, or at least a Dungeons and Dragons Lite, a streamlined version of the game so people can sort of play their game, probably with a much stronger focus for narrative rather than crunchy mechanics. It might be as simple as just rolling a 20-sided dice, and that's all we really have to worry about. I am really excited. I'm really impressed. I am torn as to whether this is actually for kids or whether it's potentially useful for new dungeon masters or older dungeon masters who just can't help themselves because it sounds titillating. We just won't know, of course, until there's a bit more information released. So if you found this video helpful or informative, please share and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos. If you want to support me, watching this video helped a lot. I have hundreds more videos. You're welcome to go and check them out, including the Warriors and Weapons video. I don't do Patreon, but I do have affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon, which you can go and use if you really want to. This is your opportunity in the live chat to give feedback, ask questions. If you're not part of the live chat, you can do that down in the comments section. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.